Hello, hello, hello. This is your message from the universe for March 6th, 2021. This is the rune Suelu. Now, Suelu is the rune of wholeness. It is the rune of the life force. And today, this reading seems to say that that is a little bit lacking in you today, that you are feeling a little bit down. You are under the weather. You are having a lot of regret. You are feeling exhausted and tired, and you're kind of feeling like, don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. I'm curled up in my little ball over here. I'm all cuddled in. Don't go poking at me because I might scratch you. You're feeling like there's not a whole heck of a lot left for you. And this is something that we all go through. It's perfectly understandable. It is a difficult space to be in. Sometimes we just kind of have to sit there in that space. I have found that asking questions helps me. And sometimes what the questions lead me to is just sit here and be this way for a while. Because here's the thing. When we start to feel bad about something, when we start to feel sad, when we start to be upset, when we start to be in this space of pain, we will often try to get out of it so quickly that we don't actually explore where that pain comes from, why we're feeling that way, what led it into our lives, and what are we supposed to be learning from it. If we're just trying to feel better quickly and not feel any of the pain, then we can't really figure out what's going on. It's a lot like medicine in the fact that if I have a pain and I take a painkiller, how do I know that that pain isn't getting worse? How can I feel exactly why I need to take the painkiller? Maybe the pain that I felt wasn't a pain that needed a painkiller. Maybe it was a pain that needed intervention immediately. And instead, I just took a painkiller to kind of mash it down so I don't have to deal with it right now. But what really was up was XYZ. In my personal medical history, for example, I had stomach problems for probably a decade and a half before I recognized that I had celiacs. And when I recognized that I had celiacs, I just wrote off every pain that I had in my stomach to, oh, I must have eaten something wrong, because I felt so much better without eating gluten that when I hurt, anything that had to do with my stomach immediately was, oh, I must have gotten glutenized. So for almost a year, I kept having these really bad pains in my midsection and thinking, oh, I must have gotten glutenized over and over and over again. Finally, I had an attack, and my ex said, no, you need to go to a doctor, because I'm a person who doesn't like to go to the doctor. Anyways, what they saw was that my gallbladder was huge, like beyond huge. Like they told me it looked like a bunch of grapes hanging on the vine, big, fat, juicy grapes, because the little stones were all not only expanding the little sac for them, but it was like overfloweth with little stones. So I had to have it removed, but I didn't know that, and it could have burst. For a year, I just thought every time my stomach hurt, oh, well, I must have gotten glutenized, and I took some Tums or I took some Gas X or whatever it was, and I kept it moving. But I could have died because I just kept shoving it down. So I'm telling you that story because that's kind of the space that we're in, that we just keep shoving this pain and this sadness and this feeling like people are stomping on us or trying to get us in our safety safe place, this space where we're kind of like, man, all I got are empty bowls in front of me and I really don't want to deal with this stuff anymore. Like this space, if we just push it aside and keep working, keep pretending like nothing's wrong, do something to take our mind off it, just jump out of this space right away, it's like taking a painkiller. When what we need to do is diagnose. So this space that you may be in tomorrow might be a good space for diagnosing where your sadness, where your melancholy, where your hopelessness comes from, where that space of I'm just going to give up and what's the point comes from. And is it valid? Are you pushing at something that's been telling you to stop? Or are you not pushing hard enough at something that's saying, hey, come on? And you're the only one who has the answers to these. You're the only one who can cut through all the garbage and make the decisions that you need to make. I thought that this Two of Cups in here was something that was, it was a little off with the rest of the reading because it usually means someone else. But because of getting Suelu as the main rune for this reading today, for me, I believe that this Two of Cups is speaking about that partnership with yourself. And that by leaning into yourself, to the friendship with yourself, that you may be able to get through this in a way that's going to help you to change everything, that's going to shift this space, this Five of Cups space, into a reverse space where it's like, well, I'm going to pick myself up by my bootstraps and just keep going, because that's life. That's what we do. That energy is where we want to get to, but you don't want to just take a painkiller for all the other stuff. You want to make sure that you are loving yourself, that you're kind to yourself, that you're whole with yourself, that you're recognizing that you're going through this also on a spiritual level, not just a physical level, not just a life, 3D life level, and that you have the energy to change this just by recognizing where it comes from. And if you can't figure out where it comes from, know that whatever it's coming from is a place in you that hurts. It hurts. And the way that it's expressing its pain and asking you to give it a painkiller is this energy, this Four of Swords reverse, this Four of Cups reverse, this Queen of Wands reverse, this space of feeling like you're being intruded on and what's the point? I'm going to give up. I want to read one more thing to you here with the Suelu. The Suelu has its own little prayer, and it's not really the prayer of Suelu. I got my little book here. It counsels this Suelu opening yourself up and letting light into the part of your life that has been secret and shut away. And this may call for profound recognition and admitting to yourself something that you have long denied. That's this thing that we have to team up with ourselves and discover. And here's the prayer. It's not a prayer to God, it's a prayer to whatever you want. You who are the source of all power, whose rays illuminate the world, illuminate also my heart so that it too can do your work. And just picture yourself, with the light streaming into you as you say that so that you can access that divine energy. And then we have, this is a God thing. I can of my own self do nothing. John 5:30 from Christ's words. And it's basically just saying that you have to lean on the energy of divine, of the universe, that string that leads through all of us, that connects everything and connects everything in our life to our own life force and connects our life force to all other life forces. So this energy of Suelu is really asking you to take a look at how you feel and how it fits into the bigger picture and how it affects how you execute that bigger picture, how you play that out. Okay, I think I covered everything. I'm so grateful for you guys to be here. If you are still watching and you watch me on the regular, then you know that every once in a while I am skipping days now. I'm going through this little thing right here. And so I have decided that if I wake up and the universe isn't saying, hey, you need to pull cards today, then I don't do it. And I'm in this space of trying to figure out if that's the right thing, because it's not just cards. It's a lot of things. I've been doing live shows for almost 4 years now. And I'm pulling back from that quite a bit. And it's not because I'm not still going through my own journey. It's just the way that I'm thinking about that journey that's changing. And it feels bad. It feels weird because I feel like I'm failing. I feel like I'm giving up. I feel like I'm not following through on what I promised. But I also keep getting signs that you promised something, that you were going to do something, and you did it. You didn't promise forever. You said until they tell you not to. So I'm getting to that point where my process is once again becoming my own and not shared with the whole world. But I don't know if I like how that feels. But I also know that I do like how that feels. And it's a very confusing space to be in. So, yeah. So as I say all the time, these readings are for me just as much as they are for you. They're not just for my TikTok and my YouTube peeps. They are also for me. I started doing them for me in the first place. They're still for me now. But I've learned that so many of you energetically are kind of on that same path as I am. And I'm grateful to have you along for the ride. I'm grateful that these readings speak to you. I'm grateful that the things that I speak about interject themselves into your life in a way that is helpful. And yeah, I'm just really, I'm really grateful to continue to be able to do these. I do have a fair coming up, like a little psychic fair thingy. I don't know if any of you are interested in that. It's not just me, it's a whole bunch of people, and we break off into little Zoom rooms and have sessions. I am going to do some readings. Usually I just speak about unconditional love and loving yourself and embracing other people and forgiveness, that sort of a thing. But I'm really leaning into this a little bit more. I'm having a lot more contact with the other side. I'm seeing, I don't know, guides, spirits, ghosts, whatever you want to call it, and having more connection in that way. And so that's what I'm going to explore during this fair. I'm going to have my little speech at the beginning, and then we'll just chat and explore and have kind of like live readings after that. If this is something that you're interested in, please put a comment below, and I will definitely link up. There's actually 3 of them coming up. One is I think it's the 13th, the 15th, and maybe the 6th of the following month. I'm not 100% sure, but it's going to have tons of, like, five or six. There's probably 10 or 15 different practitioners who are going to have their own Zoom room, who are going to do their own stuff, and some of them do meditation, some of them do healing, some of them do oils, some of them do crystals, some of them do, I don't know, whatever it is, they do it. They're the Reiki, they do it. And they're going to teach you, or they're going to bring you into a room and talk to you about it, or they're going to do it on you. I have no idea. I just know there's a whole bunch of them listed there, and you kind of wander around the fair just like you would a fair, like in a big convention center. You go in the main room, and there's going to be like practitioners wandering through the main room, and then you break off and go into your own rooms, whichever one you choose. So if you're interested in that, I just rattled on about that for like 5 minutes. If you're interested in that, please let me know. Put a little comment down below. I'm happy to share the link with you. And yeah, we're all in this together. We're all moving through this together. We're all changing together. And just give yourself a break. Love yourself a little bit. Give yourself a hug. Know that you are all you need. You are there with you. You are beloved. You matter, and you are so very loved. Oh yeah, P.S. I have a new ring coming. I'm so excited. I ordered an antique spoon ring for my thumb. Every other finger has its little thing on there. And I didn't want to make something for this. I wanted something that was solid and already like a real thing. So I'm really excited to get it. All right. Love you guys. Bye.